At this time, I'll call the December 21st, 2023 meeting to order for the Dickinson County Commission. Would you please stand and join in the flag salute? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Today, we have one item that we're going to add to the agenda, and it's in regards to a replacement of for a transport van and to authorize a purchase. And with that, I would move that we approve the agenda as amended.
I'll second it.
We have the motion, we have the second. Any other discussion, question? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries. The consent agenda includes the payroll of $376,470.81, abatements of $2,690.22, added tax of $1,032.58, an escape tax of $25.56, utilities wire $10,355.77.
I move to approve the consent agenda.
Second. We have the motion and the second for approval of the consent agenda. Any discussion or questions? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries. Ron.
I just want to thank the community, our citizens in Dickinson County, for have a happy holiday and safe travels through the season. I think we had a long, hard year, and appreciate all the patience with us, with the county commissioners, and hope we can work together better this next coming year. But again, happy holidays to everybody.
Craig.
Yeah, yesterday I attended a virtual Zoom meeting for KAC. A couple of dates we'll probably want to put on our counter as you may already know it. 24th January is local government day. And then the 8th of February is county government day. We were there last year with the booth and stuff. Some of the other things that was discussed was the conference, which was everybody's that was there was a real success. Conversation got around to the cost of the conference, and we don't know exactly what it was, but the consensus that everybody had was it was a lot cheaper than Kansas City. The hotel rooms are, you know, the Hyatt was $127 a night. So I don't think it's going to change. There was some talk about Topeka. I know we've had it there several years ago, but City of Topeka owns it, and it's not in very good shape, I guess. Something that's already been in the pipeline for the legislature have already brought to the table was there's going to be a constitutional home rule or home rule, a constitutional amendment. I'm not sure. I can't remember who brought it to the table. And then Jay probably said who the senator was or House Representative was removing the tax on or the value of residential from 11% to 10 to 9% on residential property. About an hour and a half. Good meeting stuff. But like I said, we just had barely enough on Zoom. There was just 10 of us on. We will have a reorganization meeting the 24th at 9 o'clock in Topeka. That's all I have, Lynn.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. We got Stroll Hall today. I'll let you.
Okay. That's basically all I had that I was going to mention is earlier today we did meet out at Stroll Hall at 9 o'clock, and it was a presentation of a check, Quality of Life Coalition. They've worked on a grant. It's just a real step forward. We have equipment out there now for this community kitchen that's going to be available, and the usage out there at Stroll Hall is amazing. But it was a major update that needed to take place. And it's for $25,000, and Janelle was there. Craig, various people from organizations, Blue Cross Blue Shield had their representative there because they had a lot to do with the funding mechanism. And so anyway, it was just kind of and of course the Fair Board people were there, and Gene Bender. And so anyway, it's kind of a small event, but it's going to have a big impact on the community and county. And of course, that's where the county fair is and so on, and just lots of activities out there. So that's basically all I have. We do not have any petitions or proclamations. This would be opportunity for public comments if anyone would want to make a comment on something that is not on the agenda. And if so, online or in person, you need to give your name and address, and this would be opportunity for that. And usually we try to keep it about 3 minutes or so as a kind of a guideline. So.
Good morning. My name is Steve Johnson, 1536 Dale Road at Enterprise. And I just had a little article I'd like to read. I know we all believe that we have environmental issues and that we believe that these technical matters should be solved using real science. I'm sure most of you agree that this makes sense, although some may be asking the question, what is real science? Science is not a collection of theorems, but is it a process? The core process is a scientific method. The scientific method consists of hypothesis that wind energy is equivalent to our conventional power source, being subject to a comprehensive, objective, independent, transparent, and empirical-based assessment. The fact is that this has not been done for wind energy. This probably surprises most citizens. They know the government wouldn't mandate stuff on us without thoroughly checking it out, right? Wrong. Since we agree that we have energy and environmental issues, let's look at an example that puts this situation into perspective. Let's say that some entrepreneur steps forward and presents us with a black box that they claim holds part of a solution to these energy and environmental issues. Would we just say, great, who do we make the $1 trillion check out to? I think no. Thoughtful people would say something like, thanks for coming forward. What you say about your product sounds good. However, before we have taxpayers and ratepayers pay for this, we need to see the scientific method proof that your product will be an effective cost-benefit solution. Due to aggressive lobbyists pushing for their multiple national conglomeration clients, none of this has been done for wind energy. I ask you, am I being unreasonable to ask for genuine scientific proof? You may ask, what needs to be proven? Well, it's fairly simple. Any new alternate source of energy needs to have a thorough technical, economical, and environmental assessment provided by the proponents. This way, we can objectively know whether this new source is at least equally to our current source of power or not. If they are not, then we should not be wasting citizens' resource on them. Taxpayers and ratepayers should not be burdened by paying for unproven products just because lobbyists have greased the skids. It is entirely up to the proponent to provide the proof. They must, if this is going to be proven by real science. So now I have a copy for you guys.
Okay, sure.
One for
Thank you. Are there any additional comments? We'll go ahead and move to the next item. This will be our report from county officers. First off, County Administrator Janelle Dockendorf.
Commissioners, just a couple reminders that the county offices will be closed December 22nd and 25th in observance of the Christmas holiday. So this Friday and coming Monday. And then next week, the treasurer, obviously, we're preparing for the end of the year. So the treasurer will be closed to the public on the 29th, starting at noon, so they can complete the year-end process. So that's all I would have.
Okay, thank you. Doug, he's our county counselor.
I'm pleased to tell you that it appears that the 4 attorneys we have on the court-appointed list, which would be Lucas Randall and Charles Alt-Duell and Jennifer Dahlstrom and Bruce Berry, have all agreed to stay on that contract. And so I think we have those signed, and that'll take care of that. The price is the same as it was before.
Okay.
I have.
And they are court appointed.
Yeah, they serve in the court-appointed system on many of them are on juvenile cases, some of them on juvenile cases that lead towards felony cases, and once in a while they have a felony case that they're appointed on. And they've done a good job. They're 4 good attorneys.
I appreciate your work on that, because the coordination part, I mean, it's too much for one.
Yeah.
just two. And so we've got we've had some good participation, and
They do a good job. They're respected by the judges, and so they do a good job. They work hard at it, and we're glad to have them.
okay, thank you.
Thank you.
So notices and communications. We have here from the Kansas prosecutor, just their regular magazine, and I don't believe we had our, sometimes we have our magazine from the National Association of Counties. We did have here a Community Outlook Conference that's going to take place in the Abilene Community Center. And this is going to be facilitated or sponsored by Effergy. And the event hosts are the Center for Economic Development and Business Research, and also Wichita State University. So this will be something that we'll have opportunity to participate in. We also received a certified letter from the U.S. Department of Homeland Security, and this has to do with FEMA. And so I'll go ahead and, Janelle, have you have this properly filed and such. And then also it does require an acknowledgement that we did receive this.
Okay.
So North Central Regional sent us out their newsletter, and it's a quarterly newsletter. And Craig, you serve on that board.
Yes.
So it's they keep pretty busy in North Central Kansas.
Going
You
back,
have something? Yes.
yeah, this community outlook, something I think we need to decide. I mean, it's not $10, but registration after January 3rd, 65.
Mhm.
You know, Marcus,
We're going to Marcus has registered Tim and myself and him to attend that. So. yeah,
I don't care to attend, but do you,
Okay.
Lynn, do you want it? Ron?
You know, I think if we have representation there, that would be enough, but also we might want to reach out our economic development people and make sure they're aware of it.
Right.
And
I think they've referenced the DKEDC in some of the emails that we've received. So.
I think once before I stuck my head in there for about 15 minutes just to get a feel for what was going on without
Last
staying for the
year,
whole
yeah.
conference. I don't know if it's necessary to on that.
Mhm.
Just pay $5.
Apply. Yeah, get the $1 a minute or something like that. Yeah, that's actually it's 50 cents a minute is closer to what it comes.
I can stay longer then.
A
Yeah.
long time ago.
Okay. Was there anything that anybody else had received or comments that they've received?
Nothing on the computer, Lynn.
Okay. And Steve, for what you talked about, thank you for the information. And I do occasionally have people get a hold of me and, you know, it's on their mind and they just they usually want to share their for it or opposed to it either way. So, and that is something that's going to come up in a couple of months, probably with planning and zoning.
Right.
So within the first few months to 6 months into the year, there'll be notification and publications in regards to public hearings.
Right. We're not anticipating the application to be submitted until probably towards the end of the first quarter. So, but there'll be information on our website or you can just talk to me too, or Tim.
And Brock, did you have something for us? Or I know we had some discussion earlier about trying to fill the position openings that you have. So,
I just came down here in case you hadn't discussed that yet. Been doing a meeting for a while, so. Well,
okay. I think Janelle probably could brief you on that. I mean, if that's okay, other than, just generally speaking, we realize we need to fill the position and maybe reevaluate what the market rate is to bring in an assistant.
I don't,
Why don't you go ahead and step up to the podium? And I mean, I don't need to go into depth too much, or as far as we need to, we will.
yeah, Rocky Abbey County Attorney, it's all the stuff I've told you before, the competition with other counties and their vacancies. I know I told you that it's advertised, and I put it on KCDAA before we had the conference in October, hoping to find some interest. I was at the conference and didn't really find any interest. And then even after that, 5 more counties have posted vacancies. So we're competing with them. I know Sling County and Erie County have added attorney positions that start after the first of the year. So there's going to be additional vacancies in those counties we're going to be competing with. Why I'm bringing it up again now is we're starting to get into just some trials and a trial season where April, almost the whole month, every day has a trial scheduled now. Some of those are very serious offenses that are going to be trial for a week at a time, almost back to back. And, I just don't want my office to falter when an attorney's in trial the whole month and there's only one attorney available. And the rest of, we yesterday were scheduling trials in May, June, and July with those very serious offenses. And it's just hard to maintain that sort of pace when you're short-staffed and those types and numbers of offenses we're seeing. We're doing good. It's just really tough to keep up with that.
Okay.
And then obviously, I'm sure Janelle has told you, I keep in touch, with the other counties in the area and see where we're at on track with their salaries. And I had heard one was considering raising or did raise their salaries for their third and fourth attorney rates. So I'm again increasing the competition, if you will. So.
Well, and that's something that one of the positions that we really cannot afford to be idle on or have empty, you might say. And I know Janelle has Marcus looking into some of the funding aspects of that to consider budget wise and so on. And so I feel like we're on the same page from what you've said and what she has told us to address the situation. So
the pressure is, when you're talking about going to court and there's trial deadlines and speedy trial and stuff like that. So the pressure really compacts cases when you have them and you get cases stacked like I'm saying we are now. Some days we have 2 or 3 trials scheduled on the same day, and obviously you can't do that, but we're in a position with speedy trial rights where we have to schedule trials within speedy trial. And now what do we do when we get there and there's not enough judges and not enough prosecutors to hear all those cases? It forces us into that awful position of saying which victim's more important, which crime's more important. And it's an awful position to put any prosecutor or victim in, and so we desperately need.
Okay.
Right.
And when we say we're looking into it, that's not something where it's over the next 3 months or 6 months. We sense the urgency to get this addressed as quickly as possible.
Right. And those types of offenses I'm talking about in April, it's not one where somebody can get hired in March and pick up a trial like that and do it. So again, why I'm addressing it now, because we're 4 and 5 months out where somebody could be prepared to take on some of that case work.
Are you heading back up to your office?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll holler at you when we get done.
Okay. I'll shoot you a text.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Brock is doing an excellent job. He's got a load of cases that he's taking, and he needs some help. I know that they're looking hard to try to find somebody to give you help because it's you and Daryl doing that, and then you're doing the bulk of the cases on the felony cases and stuff, and he's done a really good job.
I reached out to somebody I practiced with before about, just even taking a case at a time on a contract, and this person wasn't able to. They work full time now again and just couldn't put the distance between Abilene and where they work now. So.
Okay.
It was worth a shot.
Yeah, it always is. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay. We do not have any resolutions to consider. We did have an addition to the agenda, and that's in regards to a replacement transport van. So Chanel, could you give us the background of that?
Commissioners, last month we had the jail van out of county on a transport, and they were involved in an accident. The van has been totaled, and we're working with the insurance company for resolution on that. But in the meantime, that leaves us without a way to transport inmates. And the undersheriff has located a van here at Home Automotive that will fill the needs. We'll be able to replace or take the equipment from the damaged van and move it into this van. So it was a 21 Chevy Express cargo van that was damaged, and we were able to locate, or he was able to locate another one here. And the price is $40,397 for that. So what we're proposing is that you approve the purchase, and then when the insurance check comes in, then we'll just put it back against the line item that the expense came out of, and move forward with getting the equipment moved and the van ready to go. The Jan ready to go.
I noticed too on this, their suggested retail was 45,000. So it was helpful that Chris Eckert, I guess, is handling this, did offer us a discount on that. And this, there will not be a trade-in. It's just a matter of the damaged van. The insurance company will reimburse us.
Right. Yeah, because the van has been totaled, so.
Okay. Any questions, or is there a motion for approval of this purchase?
I'll make a motion to approve the purchase of a 2021 Chevy Express van.
Second.
We have the motion and the second for the purchase of a 2021 Chevrolet Express cargo van. This will be a transport van for law enforcement. The amount was $40,397. Any other question or comment? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries. We do not have any unfinished business. The remaining item we have on the agenda is to have an executive session. This is for non-elected personnel, and will include our attorney and Janelle and the three commissioners. And then at a little bit into the executive session, we'll probably have Janelle leave because it's in regards to an evaluation that we annually do, housekeeping. And then she would return to that executive session. I think we can accomplish all of this in 20 minutes. And so I would move that we go into executive session at 11:24 for 20 minutes for non-elected personnel. Is there a second to the motion?
I'll second the motion.
We have the motion and the second to go into an executive session, non-elected personnel for 20 minutes, starting at 11:24. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. We'll recess for executive session to begin at 11:24. We're back in regular session. We had been in executive session to discuss non-elected personnel. I will mention that it involved an evaluation of our county administrator, so it's an opportunity to review, but also have discussion back and forth as far as how the commission works with you and you with the commission, as well as all the other responsibilities. And she received very high marks. And so, Janelle, thank you for your dedication and your service, and appreciate all that you do for the county. And
Thank you very much. I do appreciate that as well, and the support that I received. So.
Kind of like going away speech.
well, yeah, well, you know, we had 20 minutes of discussion, and so I just tried to summarize. So, yes, I did.
Ignoring you, Janelle.
As you continue in the future.
Okay, thank you.
There isn't a future tense and not present tense.
My mind a little bit. Oh, thank you for signing that.
Yeah, if Marcus was here,
Yeah.
I probably coaches him on and verbs on. Okay, so is there any other business before the commission?
No.
Is there a motion to adjourn?
Second.
We have the motion and the second to adjourn. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. We're adjourned.